You ever wonder what that hidden force is, the one that's really driving the market? The one that explains so much about our investments, about everything. Today, we're going to pull back that curtain. Let's get right into it. So what is this force? It's something called the economic cycle. I know, that sounds a little textbooky, right? But stick with me, because once you really get this, you'll start seeing these patterns in the market that honestly most people just completely miss. I mean, it's the big question, isn't it? The one every single investor asks. Why does the market go up and then down? Why is it such a roller coaster? Why can't it just, go in one direction? Well, turns out the answer is actually surprisingly simple. See, the answer isn't just random chaos, it's a pattern, a simple repeating pattern. And really understanding this pattern, that's the key to making sense of pretty much all market behavior. Okay, so what is an economic cycle exactly? Well, to put it super simply, it's just the natural rise and fall of the economy over time. It's the economy's rhythm. It grows for a while, then it slows down, maybe dips a little, and then it recovers and starts growing all over again. And the absolute best way to think about this is like the seasons. Seriously, you've got spring, summer, autumn, and winter. And just like the seasons, one phase of the economy always follows the other. It's a cycle. All right, so let's actually break down these 4 economic seasons. Let's see what they look like, and more importantly, what they mean for us. So here they are in order. You start with expansion. That leads up to a peak. After the peak, you get a contraction, which eventually hits bottom at the trough. And then, guess what? The whole thing just starts right back up again. First step, we've got expansion. This is our economic springtime. Think of it this way. Businesses are humming along, more people are getting hired, and everyone's feeling pretty good, so they're spending more. Confidence is high, and all that good energy, it usually fuels the stock market, which is why you often see some really strong performance here. Okay, so after all that great growth, the economy hits its summer, the peak. On the surface, things look incredible. Growth is maxed out. But, and this is a big but, you start to see signs that things are overheating. Prices might be climbing a little too fast. That's inflation. And that healthy confidence we saw before, it can start to look more like overconfidence or even hype. And that's when people start taking on way too much risk. And then comes autumn, the contraction. After that high point, things naturally start to cool off. Economic growth slows way down, companies aren't making as much money, and people, well, they start to tighten their belts and spend less. The feeling in the air is uncertainty, and that's what usually sends the stock market downward. Finally, we hit the trough. This is our economic winter. It's the lowest point in the cycle when things feel pretty bleak. But here's the most important part to remember about the trough. It's not just an ending, it's also a new beginning. This is the point where recovery kicks off, and the whole cycle gets ready to start over with a brand new spring. Okay, so we've got the 4 phases down, but, and this is huge, to really be a smart investor, you have to understand the critical difference between the economy itself and the stock market. They're related for sure, but they absolutely do not move in lockstep. And this next idea, honestly, it might be the most critical piece of the whole puzzle. If you get this, it will totally change how you look at the market news from now on. So the big question is, who moves first? Well, think of it like this. The economy is all about the present. Economic numbers, like jobs reports, tell you what's happening right now, or more often, what just happened. But the stock market? Oh, the stock market is a totally different beast. It's a future predicting machine. It's always trying to guess where the economy is going to be 6, 9, even 12 months down the road. Let me say that again because it's so important. The stock market doesn't wait for the economy. What does that mean in practice? It means the market often starts to fall before a recession is even official. And it often starts to recover and go up while the economic news still sounds absolutely terrible. The market almost always moves first. So we've got the mechanics of the cycle. Now let's talk about the human side of things, the powerful emotions that drive investors crazy during each of these phases. And man, is it an emotional roller coaster. During the expansion, when the market's rising, we all feel confident, right? Then, at the peak, that confidence can get supercharged into excitement, even pure hype. But then, during the contraction, as the market falls, fear and caution creep in. And by the time we hit the trough, that's when we're at maximum fear. It feels like the world is ending. But look at that last word on the slide, opportunity. That's what the smartest investors see when everyone else is panicking. All right, so knowing all this, the seasons, the psychology, how do we actually use this to build a smarter investment strategy, one that can weather any storm? So the big temptation, of course, is to try and play hero, to try and guess the exact top or the exact bottom. You know the feeling, right? Is this the peak? Should I sell everything? Or is this the bottom? Is it time to go all in? But here's the honest-to-God truth. Trying to perfectly time the market, it's a fool's game. Why? Because you almost never know you're at a peak or a trough until way, way after it's happened. You only see it clearly in the rearview mirror. And trying to guess in real time, that's a recipe for making some really bad emotional decisions. So what's the better way? It's what we call an all-weather strategy. It's designed to work no matter what season we're in. And it's pretty simple, really. First, you focus on the long term. You're not day trading, you are investing. Second, you invest in strong, quality companies. Third, you build a diversified portfolio so you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. And maybe most important of all, you make consistent contributions. You just keep investing a little at a time, no matter what the crazy headlines are saying. And that really brings us to the final and maybe the most powerful idea here. This isn't just about a checklist or a strategy. It's about a complete shift in your mindset. The goal is not to fear the cycle. The goal is to understand it. Once you truly accept that these ups and downs are just a natural, normal, repeating part of the game, you can stop freaking out over every headline. You can stop reacting emotionally and start acting strategically. And that knowledge right there, that is your ultimate advantage. So if you only take one single thing away from all of this, let it be this. In the long run, consistency beats prediction every single time. Stop trying to be a psychic. Focus on being consistent and disciplined. Because over the long journey of investing, that's what truly wins.